In this video, we're going to take a look at finding the inverse of a function. So any equation that we have, we want to find its inverse. So what the preferred method is to switch x and y and resolve. So what we do is we take the x and the y and we switch their locations. So then x equals 2 times y minus 3 cubed plus 5. And then we resolve that for y. Because this is our original function, y equals, we're going to be finding y inverse. And that's the inverse function, and it looks like that. So once we do that, then this is the letter that we want to keep over here, so we want to keep the y on this side, so we need to send everything else over. The way we do that is with orders of operations in reverse. Orders of operations have to do with parentheses, so things that are in grouping symbols, exponents, things like that. So parentheses, exponents, then multiply, divide, and then add, subtract. And some of you remember that as PEMDAS. So what we do when we're solving an equation, though, is we go backwards up the orders of operations list. So I get rid of what's added and subtracted first. So I'm going to minus 5 on both sides to start with, and I get x minus 5 equals 2 times y minus 3 cubed. I'm still trying to work my way in towards this y. The next thing is I would get rid of what's multiplied and divided in this case, which is a 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. Those 2's are going to reduce to 1, basically cancel. And now I've got x minus 5 over 2 equals y minus 3 cubed. And to get rid of a cubed, we need a cube root. So I'm going to take the cube root of both sides at this point to cancel that out. So cube root here, cube root there, cube root and cube cancel. And now I've got the cube root of x minus 5 over 2 equals y minus 3. And then my final move is to add 3 to both sides. So I add 3 here and add 3 here. And that ends up being actually on the outside of the square root sign, and that would be my y inverse function. So my original doing function is this, and this is my undoing function. And now if I were to plug in a number into this equation, like if I plugged in a number like 10 into here, then it's going to turn it into something else. Then I take that answer, if I plugged it in for x for here, this would turn it back into 10. So this is what I'm doing to it, this is what how do I undo it? And you can check it by plugging in a number into those two equations and see if you get your original number back. That is a really important concept to make sure that you did all this work and actually know that you did it right. So plug in a number here, see what it gives you, and then take what it gives you, plug it here. It should turn it into that number that you started with.